Welcome back. It's been more than 2 weeks since the deadly Bucksnort explosion, many dealing with loss and grief this morning. Nathan Miller with Volunteer Behavioral Health joins me now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
This was a massive tragedy that is impacting so many people, whether directly or just by seeing it on the news. Just talking about the stages of grief, what may people be experiencing right now?
Well, there are 5 stages of grief. There's denial, there's anger, there's bargaining, there's
depression.
Thank
Acceptance.
you, depression, and then acceptance.
Yeah.
And the thing that we have to look at and remember is everybody's different, and everybody processes their trauma and their grief differently. So it's possible to, be in more than one of these stages at a time. It's more than possible as well to get stuck in one of these stages at a time. And when that happens, people get kind of confused and they don't move through the process as well. But just because it's not very clean, like we talk about, this, and this, doesn't mean that they're not having those and experiencing those. And those are a lot, I think, going to be expressed and understood by the folks who were directly affected, like the families and the friends of those victims that we have. So something that they need to be understanding of is, when those things happen, reach out to somebody if you need to. It's okay to do that. And these feelings are very normal, and they're a process.
Yeah. What about those first responders, who are dealing with this? Is there any sort of perhaps PTSD that they'll be facing?
And that's very true. And some of your first responders they may go through the grief process as well, simply because of their role in the community. It's such a small community, everybody's close-knit. You have volunteers a lot of times with first responders, so they may experience some of the grief process as well as things like PTSD later on. This is a great trauma. Sheriff Davis actually said that, it's one of the worst things he had seen in his career. So, this is a big piece for this community, such a small community that just a few years ago as well had the flooding. So they're bonded together and they're very strong, but yet they have another tragedy to go through.
And what about for people at home who don't live in that community, but they just feel the weight of this massive loss of life, just a few miles away? What should they be doing, to deal with that emotionally? Well,
and the best thing you can do is continue, like anything, continue to take care of yourself, eat well, sleep well, reach out if you need something from somebody. If you're feeling down, if you're depressed or overwhelmed, let somebody know that. And sometimes, to be honest with you, turning media off is a good thing. We hear a lot of bad stuff as well. So sometimes just getting that out of our mind and closing that off and just have a healing period as well. But anytime it gets too big, it gets too difficult, make sure that you reach out for professional help, whether that be with Volunteer Behavioral Health or your other local entity that's there, your agency. There's a good website that you and I talked about, griefshare.org, where you can look up your zip code and you can find local groups that are support groups for your grief and your process.
Yeah, great resource. We just pulled it up on my laptop and put in the zip code for the station here in Nashville, and already there are 3 options. The first one on Wednesday, second on Wednesday, third on Wednesday. And you could just walk right in and be a part of those grief share communities, or also look for one-on-one help if that is more your speed. So thank you so much for sharing these resources with us and walking through all of this. And if you're interested in learning more about these options, or just checking out this story again, we are going to post this on our website, WKRN.com.